Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Well, India are the ones who would be joining New Zealand in this particular group in the semi-finals. As what a knock! I mean, one man who did it today was none other than the world-class Virat Kohli. The other day we saw on a very treacherous track in Pakistan, treacherous track against Pakistan, he played a wonderful hand, and today on a pitch definitely giving you value for runs, no doubt about it. But India were in such a trying situation where the asking rate was almost 12 runs per over in the last 5 overs, and what a display! A world-class batsmanship coming in from this Indian great batsman Virat Kohli. And today, after looking at this innings, I can very safely say that he's the best player in the world, and not only that currently. And one thing I can say, I can really say that this is another Sachin Tendulkar for India, no doubt about it. He is looking absolutely, he was excellent, he was class, he was grace, you call it, he was there everywhere. How well he paced his innings. And as I said, Australia were almost there, in the sense they were looking like Australia. There was definitely, the host India were probably going to be out of this tournament. But what an excellent way Virat Kohli brought India back into the match, and with his wonderful boundaries that he hit, where he actually left the Australian bowlers absolutely clueless, and the fielders were absolutely left with nothing, as he was picking up the gaps with consummate ease. And you could see the determination in Virat Kohli's eyes that he wanted to take India to the semi-finals. And what a way Virat Kohli did it. I mean, I would say take a bow, Virat Kohli, today, to have dismissed Australia. And the captain Stephen Smith of Australia himself said this was an incredible innings coming from India's great batsman Virat Kohli. Well, so that is as far as India coming to the semi-finals. But before that, there was a big upset. And as you know, Afghanistan, who have been coming close. In fact, they ran South Africa close by challenging a 200 plus total by only giving them a 37-run victory. Then England the other day were given a scare when Afghanistan got close to them by 15 runs. But today they nailed they managed to pull it off, as today at the Jamta Stadium in Nagpur, they upset the apple cart, the mighty West Indians, who so far have been unbeaten in this tournament, in this Super 10. And look at what happened. Today, the West Indies had to lose to Afghanistan by 6 runs. So Afghanistan, what a win for them. What a final flourish for them just before leaving the World Cup, that they managed to scalp one of the nations. And I think it was only fitting, because Afghanistan were definitely looking like doing something like that. The other day, as I said, they were coming close, but today they went over and well beyond it to actually claim West Indies as their victim. And this would have probably dented a bit of a morale for the West Indies, as West Indies have to now get geared up to take on India, host India in the semi-finals at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And what a match that is going to be. Well, so first let's talk about the India versus congratulations to Afghanistan. Let's talk about India's match against Australia. So India's match, it all started with the Australian captain Stephen Smith winning the toss, and there was a holiday crowd assembled here at the Mohali Stadium, at the Punjab Cricket Association Mohali Stadium in Chandigarh, and Australian openers were off to a great start. In fact, they rattled off. Usman Khawaja went after Bumrah. Bumrah is normally the most economical bowler for India. Today, Jasprit Bumrah was dealt with very severely by Usman Khawaja, who hit him for a lot of boundaries. In fact, Usman Khawaja started off the day, the Australian innings, by first picking up Ashish Nehra for a 4 of the very first ball to set the tone. And what a tone he set. He went on to reel off 16 runs of Jasprit Bumrah over. As I said, he was dealing in boundaries. He had 26 runs made of just 16 deliveries with 6 boundaries. And we saw Ravichandran Ashwin being brought into the attack, and Ravichandran Ashwin was tanked for 2 consecutive sixes by Aaron Finch. One was a high one, the other was a flat one, Vijayendra Pandya said, and Aaron Finch and Khwaja had got Australian innings to an electric start, putting on 13 runs per over to have the score bring up the 50 in the 4th over itself. They were 52 for no loss in the 4th over, and they were really racing off like anything. But Indian bowlers started it off all with Ashish Nehra really after that, seeing that Khwaja was really trying to play his strokes. He got one of those deliveries which actually left Khwaja as he attempted to drive at a delivery, and Dhoni taking a very good catch down the leg side. A high catch but well taken by Dhoni. So Khwaja was looking like a danger man for India in the beginning. 26 of 16 balls with 6 fours, but I thought he played very well. David Warner came in, and Ashwin got a delivery to fool David Warner. He actually dropped that ball, and that ball actually fished away from David Warner. David Warner was on the march against Ashwin, and in fact the ball actually fished away from David Warner, and Warner was yards down the crease as Mahendra Singh Dhoni had an easy stumping. So Warner was gone for 6 of 9 balls, 72 for 2 in the 8th over Australia. And Stephen Smith, Stephen Smith was, Yuvraj Singh was brought on after Dhoni seeing that Australia were going a bit on the back foot. He immediately brought on Yuvraj Singh, and Yuvraj Singh struck with the very first delivery that he bowled, and Stephen Smith actually nicked it behind the sticks. Dhoni taking the catch, and Dhoni and Yuvraj going up, and umpire Maharaj Erasmus raising the finger. Stephen Smith was not happy with the decision as he was walking back. After that, suddenly we saw the Australian innings was really pulled away by the force there, with the Indian bowlers now really getting onto the act after they dismissed Stephen Smith for 2. They were 74 for 3 in the 10th over, and then Aaron Finch, after playing a good hand of 43 of 34 balls, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Hardik Pandya came in. Hardik Pandya bowled very well. His first over was very good. He has this habit of bowling some short delivery, but this short delivery sometimes picks some wickets, and that's what has actually happened. Aaron Finch trying to play a stroke the bowling of Pandya, a short delivery. He had just dismissed him for a boundary, and Pandya persisted with a short one, and Dhawan picked up the catch as easy as anything. He was gone for 43. Maxwell came in. Maxwell played some good strokes in his knock of 31 of 28 balls. Jasprit Bumrah was brought back, and Bumrah struck it by actually pitching the ball on the stumps, and Maxwell trying to, and this was a good delivery from Bumrah. Actually, it was a beautiful off-cutter from Bumrah, which actually pitched and came in, and Maxwell on his forward stroking was caught here. In the sense, he came down, he tried to come down the wicket to Bumrah in the slog overs, but Bumrah actually went on to hit his bail. So he was gone for 31 of 28 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. In the end, Watson made an unbeaten 18, and Faulkner was dismissed by Pandya for 10, and the bowling was very good. In fact, Nehra was absolutely on the money. We suddenly saw Bumrah getting into the act. Bumrah bowled a good line. Ravindra Jadeja made a good impression with the ball. Pandya also did a decent job as Australia, from a score of 52 for no loss in only 4 overs, were racing along. They were restricted by India to, and Peter Neville in the end, facing just 2 balls, first actually managed to get a boundary of the bowling. I think it was Ashish Nehra, if I'm not wrong, or probably Bumrah, and then he went on to hit a ball. It was Pandya who was bowling the final over, and then he sent Pandya into the stands for a 6 to finish not out on 10 of 2 balls, 1 4 and 1 6, and that's the reason Australia could get onto a score of 160 for 6, which was a decent score under the standards. As far as bowling was concerned, Ashish Nehra 1 for 20, bowled superbly. Bumrah came back very well after being dealt severely by Usman Khwaja in initial stages. 4 overs, 1 for 32. Ashwin today was left a lot to be desired. Ashwin was targeted by the Aussie batsman as was the case when Ashwin was bowling in Australia, as you remember. His 2 overs were very costly, 31 runs with 1 wicket, but that wicket of David Warner was a real gem. Ravindra Jadeja bowled 3 overs for 20. Yuvraj Singh today stood the test very well, 3 overs, 1 for 19. And Hardik Pandya, 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 36. He was a bit costly. But after that, now it was the turn for the Indians to chase this target. India started off in some quiet fashion before Dhawan actually picked up Hazelwood and in a very easy manner picked him up for a 6 picked him up for a 6, and then Rohit Sharma hit a boundary, and then finally Australia, when the Indian score was 23, it was the time for Dhawan to go, as Dhawan trying to pull a delivery from Nathan Coulter-Nile, who was actually doing some smart changes of pace there, slowed up the delivery, and Dhawan actually ended up pulling the delivery. Usman Khwaja getting the chance, got a top edge onto the ball. He was gone for 13 of 12 balls, 1 4 and 1 6. Rohit Sharma was joined in by Virat Kohli at that stage, but Rohit Sharma himself, Shane Watson was brought into the bowling attack by Stephen Smith after seeing that India had lost the first wicket, and Stephen Smith responded in the best possible manner as he actually got Rohit Sharma to actually Rohit Sharma probably trying to make room outside the off stump to play that stroke, left all the stumps open, and in the process it was like Rohit Sharma trying to hit Rohit Sharma trying to hit and missing, and Watson hitting the stumps. So Rohit Sharma was gone, bowled by Watson for 12 of 17 deliveries with 1 4. India 37 for 2, and then Suresh Raina came in and looked busy at the crease with his knock of 10 of 7 balls with 1 4 before Watson actually had him, when Watson actually smartly bowled a bouncer to Suresh Raina. Suresh Raina trying to hook the ball, gloved the delivery, and Peter Neville with his gloves took the catch. He was gone for 10, and this was the time India were in a spot of bother at 49 for 3 in the 8th over. Now it was Virat Kohli and Yuvraj Singh joining him, and you know, Virat Kohli and Yuvraj Singh have always pulled the fat out of the fire in recent matches that they have played. They did it against Pakistan too, as you would remember, and as Yuvraj Singh came in and joined Virat Kohli at the crease. Virat Kohli, well, for him, no situation deters him. He's a determined guy. He came in and he slowly started nudging the ball for singles, hitting the odd boundary at times, as Yuvraj Singh had a problem. Yuvraj Singh actually pulled his ankle, and he was throughout the innings he was hopping at the crease, and that made it a bit difficult for India because Yuvraj Singh was not able to use his feet in the normal way, but still he managed to hit one good 6 of the bowling of Adam Zampa, the leg spinner, and Virat Kohli was also doing, and India, the pressure was increasing, and the pressure increased to such an extent that India were requiring more than 10 runs per over, and then it increased to 11 runs per over, and then now there's only one thing that could be done, and that was for Yuvraj Singh to really have a go at the Australian bowling, and that's what he precisely did. But a slower delivery from Faulkner fooled him as Yuvraj Singh checked his shot. Watson took a brilliant catch, running away and diving and taking the catches inches off the ground, as Yuvraj Singh was gone for 20 of 18 deliveries with 1 4 and 1 6. India was 94 for 4, and still there was a lot of work to be done. As I said, this was the 14th over which was going on, so they still had 66 runs to get. 66 runs to get in the balance. If you look at it, they had only 36 balls, and Virat Kohli was looking good at the crease, but Virat Kohli, as I said, was pacing in his innings beautifully. And for India, the key was that one needed Virat Kohli to stay there at the center right through the end, and that was what was wanted, and that's what precisely happened. As Dhoni came in, the run rate was spiraling out of proportion. It had gone to 12 runs per over, and now the onus was on Virat Kohli and Dhoni to take India out of this particular tricky situation and reach them into the semi-finals. And what a wonderful way. They started off first by not able to hit boundaries. Dhoni and Kohli, once they came, we saw the scoreboard started moving on pretty quickly as the running between the wickets. As you know, Virat Kohli and Dhoni are normally hair between the wickets, and that's what they precisely did. Virat Kohli and Dhoni kept on herring between the wickets. converting the singles into twos and started putting pressure on the Australian team. But still, Australians were the ones who were on the ascendant at the time, with India requiring 12 runs. But then Virat Kohli turned it on. He started getting on to real business. First he went after Glenn Maxwell, then he targeted James Faulkner, Nathan Coulter-Nile, everybody, Josh Hazlewood came in, and Virat Kohli started hitting boundaries. In fact, he went after Faulkner in a big manner as he dispatched him for boundaries. And what was good to see about Virat Kohli today was he was challenged by a strong field, but he was playing with such class and such smartness that he could actually pierce the gap, and at times where he couldn't make the stroke, he used to slice the ball through the offside, and he was putting the ball into the gaps, and he was bisecting the gap in an admirable manner. And as I said, this was a world-class innings from Virat Kohli, and suddenly we saw Virat Kohli getting 12 runs and a Faulkner over in the I think it was in the 18th over. I think it was James Faulkner bowling. That was where Australia definitely lost it, as Virat Kohli went on to get a big over for India by hitting 19 runs of the over, by hitting some magnificent boundaries and capping it with a 6-2. At the other end, Dhoni, well, definitely Dhoni was just playing around. Dhoni was not able to get the big shots going, but we definitely saw that Dhoni was, Watson was bowling well, and Dhoni had to actually dig the Yorkers, and that actually, piled on the pressure on the Indians, and then Virat Kohli had to open out. But what a big over for India there when Faulkner was taken for 19 runs. And finally, Virat Kohli, everything being done, the equation became very simple for India, and then it was only a matter of time, and Dhoni in the final over did not waste any time. The very first ball that he received from Faulkner, he mowed it down the onside for a boundary, which brought the winning hit. And that was it. India entering the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup by winning by 6 wickets. And what a knock from Virat Kohli. What a knock. The player of the match, playing a magnificent knock here. Virat Kohli was not out on a princely 82 of just 51 deliveries, 9 fours and 2 sixes. Dhoni, as is his wont, was not out on 18 of 10 balls, 3 fours, and this was India victorious, and India have now gone into the semi-finals, and they would be meeting the West Indies, who definitely their morale would have been dented a bit after Afghanistan hit them hard today. But well, what a meeting that is going to be. India versus West Indies in the semi-finals at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and what a match that is going to be. Let's have a look at the Australian bowling figures here. Hazlewood also could not really hit his straps today. 4 overs went for 38. Nathan Coulter-Nile didn't know what was happening to him. He was absolutely nonplussed. He was keeping his hands on his head when Virat Kohli was playing. Such was the timing of Virat Kohli's strokes that the bowlers were absolutely clueless as to what was happening. Such was the class of the strokes that Virat Kohli played today. You could see the determination in Virat Kohli's eyes, that he wanted to take India to the semi-finals. What a player, Virat Kohli. Shane Watson, 4 overs, 223, bowled magnificently, I thought. In fact, he also managed to keep Dhoni pretty quiet with his very good brand of Yorkers. Faulkner, 3.1 overs, no made, 1 for 35. Had a very tough lesson against India. Maxwell, 2 overs for 18. Adam Zampa. Now that was a question. Adam Zampa bowled 2 overs for 11 runs. And one does not know why Adam Zampa didn't bowl his full quota, because Adam Zampa, I thought, was bowling well. In fact, Adam Zampa had bowled 2 overs for 11 runs. Probably Stephen Smith thought that with Dhoni at the crease, spin might be something very easy for India to handle. So India actually getting on to the semi-final. So congratulations to India to get on to the semi-final T20 World Cup. And definitely if India would have been out, it would have been humiliation for them, because especially considering that India are the hosts of the tournament, and it's always fitting for the host to go the whole hog. And happy to see that host India have entered the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup. My commiserations to Australia. As I said, this was just that Virat Kohli innings that absolutely took the game away from Australia today. Now let's have a look at the next match where Afghanistan went on to upset the apple cart of the West Indians. Well, Afghanistan, so as you know, at the Vidarbha Cricket Association Stadium, Janta in Nagpur, we saw India being upset by New Zealand. The spin ruled the roost, and today one of those things happened. Spin once again ruled the roost. Afghanistan were put into bat, put in a score, but on this particular wicket, one could say this score was a power score with the spinners really getting a lot of purchase. That's the precise reason we saw Samuel Badri, the leg spinner, picking up 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 14. Andre Russell, the pace bowler, picking up 2 for 23. Brathwaite 2 and 1 for 21. Ben bowled beautifully, 1 for 18. Continued to impress in this T20 World Cup. Darren Bravo 4 none for 28, and Shami 1 for 17. Looking at the Afghanistan card here, Mohammad Shahzad definitely did his job, making 24 of just 22 deliveries with 2 fours and 1 6. Usman Ghani, the youngster who is just 17 years of old, like Rashid Khan, was claimed by Badri, as he was clean bowled by Badri for 4, and Asghar Stanikzad, the captain, was dismissed for 16 by Badri. So Badri was the one who actually had this Afghanistan innings on the rack at 50 for 3. Badri was the one who had the Afghanistan innings on the rack. Gulbuddin Naib making 8 runs of 14 deliveries. Samila Shenwari was cheaply dismissed for 1. It was Najmullah Zadran, the lower order batsman, who played a very good knock here, making an unbeaten 48 or 40 deliveries with 4 fours and 1 6. Mohammad Nabi could contribute only 9. Shafiqullah made 4. Rashid Khan hitting a 6 was on order on 6. And that was 123 for 7 was the score that actually the Afghanistan's put on the board against the West Indies. And as you know, this was the first meeting between West Indies and Afghanistan ever in a T20 match, and the match went to Afghanistan. So what a proud moment for Afghanistan to clinch it. So let's see as to how West Indies actually lost everything. Well, it all started with Amir Hamza, the left arm spinner, reeling in a beautiful bowling spell as he frustrated the T20 debutant batsman E. Lewis, who was making his T20 debut today, as he was caught by Rashid Khan for the bowling of Amir Hamza, attempting a big stroke because of runs not really coming in. And Johnson Charles made 22 quick runs of 15 balls, including 1 4 and 2 6s of the spinners. Andre Fletcher, unfortunately, had to really battle a sort of cramps here, and he had to go out of the field. And then we saw Rashid Khan, the right arm leg spinner, producing a beautiful googly to beat Samuels as clean bowling for 5 of as many balls with 1 4. Ramadan contributing 18 of 24 balls, struggled, and that was the middle overs where the Afghanistan spinners made West Indies really struggle. One was Amir Hamza, 4 overs 1 for 9. Mohammad Nabi bowled 4 overs 2 for 26. Rashid Khan also having a similar bowling analysis, and they struggled. And then we saw Darren Bravo after hitting 1 4 and 1 6 and a knock of 28 of 26 of 29 deliveries, departed. LBW bowled Mohammad Nabi, and all the problems started for them when Andre Russell was out for 7 and Darren Sammy was out for 6, and now it was Brathwaite. But Brathwaite, they needed 40 runs of the last 5 overs, and they were tilting there, but the last 2 overs they required close to 20 runs. And Brathwaite was the one who was doing it. Brathwaite was the danger man for them. He had already hit 2 6s in a knock of 13. But in the final over, with 9 runs to get, Asghar Stanikzai, the Afghanistan captain, handed the ball over to the experienced Mohammad Nabi, the off spinner, to go and do the go and try to stop the West Indians. And Mohammad Nabi was bowling with just 9 runs required, and as you know, in a final over in a T20, when a spinner is bowling, you could really expect the ball to disappear. And Carlos Brathwaite was definitely in the mood, and it looked like it was only a matter of time before West Indies would actually win this. But look at what happened. In fact, the 20th over, which Mohammad Nabi bowled, was so tight that he gave away just 3 runs. And in the 3rd ball of the over, they lost the wicket of Brathwaite. Brathwaite attempting a big shot. In fact, he had actually timed the ball very well, but Najmullah Zadran was the highest scorer for the Afghanistan. What a catch he took. Brilliant. He sprinted from his place. He ran and managed to cling on to that catch, and Brathwaite couldn't believe it, and that was it. The mighty West Indians were restricted to 117 for 8 of their 20 overs, losing the match to Afghanistan by 6 runs, and this was another upset which happened in the T20 World Cup, and Afghanistan claiming West Indies as their victims. Najmul Azadran for his superb 48 and the terrific catch that he took to dismiss the get rid of the dangerous Carlos Brathwaite, who could have taken the West Indies to victory, was gone. So Najmul Azadran was named man of the match. Amir Hamza bowled splendidly, 1 for 9. Let's have a look at and Mohammad Nabi, what a spell of bowling. The final over, 9 runs to get, right arm off spinner operating against the West Indies, and Mohammad Nabi wins the match with that brilliant catch taken by Najmul Azadran. Hamid Hassan, 2.4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 19. He took 1 wicket. Rashid Khan, brilliant with his bowling, and the googly that he bowled to dismiss Samuels was a real beauty. Samiullah Shainwari also did his job, 4 overs, none for 22. Gulbuddin Naib was costly, 1.2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 14. So this is as far as the so Afghanistan, as I said, were looking close to victory. They gave a tough time to England and South Africa, and then finally they went on to claim the mighty West Indians as their victims just before this was the last match of the World Cup. As they left the shores of India, they managed to get West Indies as their victims, and this could be the proud feeling for them. And I'm sure the coach of the Afghanistan cricket team, none other than the former great Pakistan batsman Inzamam ul Haq, will be very, very proud of his boys. Well, dear fans and subscribers, a big congratulations to host India for reaching the semi-finals, and a big congratulations to Afghanistan for upsetting the West Indies and claiming their first victory in this T20 World Cup. Well, dear fans and subscribers, on this note, I'm leaving right now, but tomorrow I'll be back with one more match which is coming up, but it's going to be a mere formality. It's just going to decide the point standings in that group, and the match is going to be between South Africa versus Sri Lanka, but definitely this will be a match which will be interesting. I think both the teams are pretty strong, and one probably can so I'm not going to do any previews today of this particular match which is coming up tomorrow. Thanks for your company as always, and thanks for your superb inputs and also your tremendous cooperation to this cricket show. Your host Ram is going to take leave now by saying